Welcome to the Talking Book Voices, the podcast. Get ready to embark on the adventure with us as we dive into and celebrate the magic of the Texas Talking Book program. Let's raise our voices together and make the world of literature accessible for all. The Texas Talking Book program is a division of the State Library and Archives Commission and serves as a regional library for the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled, a division of the Library of Congress. The Talking Book program provides specialized library services to individuals who have a qualifying visual, physical, or reading disability, such as dyslexia. In each episode of the Talking Book Voices, we'll delve into the heart of the program, uncovering its history, sharing inspiring stories, and exploring the vast collection of materials it has to offer. We'll bring you the latest updates, interviews with program experts and patrons, and useful tips to make the most of this invaluable program for Texans and beyond. So whether you're an avid reader, someone with a print disability seeking accessible materials, or just curious to learn about this great program, this podcast is made for you. Don't forget to visit us at www.texastalkingbooks.org for more information. So let's begin the Texas Talking Book Voices, a podcast by the Texas State Library and Archives Commission.
Did you know the Talking Book program offers bi-monthly author talks? Well, we do. You don't need any special technology. All you need is a phone. For more information, call us at 1-800-252-9605. Hi, podcast listeners. My name is Margaret, and I am a Reader's Advisory Librarian here at the Talking Book program. I'm also an avid fan of young adult or YA literature. Young adult literature is interesting as a category because a lot of folks don't necessarily realize just how broad it can be. One of the major ways we categorize books is if they are fiction or nonfiction, and then from there we divide them into increasingly narrow genre categories, many of which fellow librarian Laura Jean has explored in her Reader's Advisory series on this very podcast. But that is where young adult fiction adds an interesting twist. Not only does it abide by the usual identifications and categories of books written for adults, in order to be considered young adult, YA books have the added dimension of specifically addressing the experiences and preferences of adolescent audiences. This isn't a simple task either. Just like how adult literature covers a broad range of readers, so too do YA books. YA literature is concerned with not only meeting the preferences of their younger audience, but making sure that said books are relatable, accessible, and enjoyable. This is a challenge because often those writing these books are no longer adolescents themselves. So authors face the task of putting themselves in the younger generation's shoes and writing to experiences and audiences that they may no longer fully be a part of. This often provides a sense of depth that many adult readers don't expect to find in young adult books, with authors in this genre pulling on cross-generational experiences in order to connect with younger readers and develop worlds that feel engrossing not only to their target audiences, but also to those working on developing the book itself. It's not only adolescents who can get value out of this genre. I would argue these books can be some of the easiest and most accessible books for any reader to enjoy. YA books, in order to serve their primary audience, have an emphasis on being readily readable and relatable. There's a focus on meeting readers with a broad range of reading proficiencies and whose life experiences are myriad. And it is these same priorities that can make the books enjoyable to readers of all ages. Don't let the sometimes simpler sentence craft fool you. YA books excel at portraying deep and often tumultuous emotional truths and narratives in alignment with their common threads of burgeoning adulthood and the tradition between these phases of life. They can be incredibly dynamic and creative in their interpretation of traditional genre categories, providing unique twists on the genres you might be more familiar with. The innovation seen across young adult books meets and even sometimes rivals that seen in their older counterparts, and that's one of the greatest strengths. It is such an adaptable and flexible genre, meeting the conventions seen in adult books with a creative and nimble approach designed to showcase intense emotional development. Being dynamic is almost a requirement, with characters and stories covering narrative ground in leaps and bounds, usually pushing traditional pacing to the side in favor of capturing their audience in a tidal wave of development that will sweep them off their feet and directly into the minds and lives of the characters. YA books are designed to intrigue their readers and tell complete stories at a faster pace than many adult books, so each book or series is often less of a commitment than many feel adult books can be. Any genre you can identify for adult novels has a counterpart in young adult literature, so whatever it is you find yourself interested in, trust that there are YA books out there for you. And as an added bonus, they almost all go by the same names. The genre is incredibly simple to navigate, and many of the books here can be read with ease. Plus, if you're looking for a solid starting point, many authors who write books for adults write for young adults as well. Authors like James Patterson, Holly Black, and John Grisham have written successfully in both categories, and many primarily YA authors, such as Rick Riordan, have written books for adults as well. So pick up a young adult book for yourself this summer and maybe try something new. There are tons of exciting and genre-bending options for you to choose from, and if you're having trouble finding ones that pique your interest, our librarians are always here to offer recommendation and help you explore. Here's some questions for you. Have you read any young adult books recently? What did you like about them? If you read books generally written for adults, how did this young adult book differ from the ones you usually read, and how did you feel about those differences? Thinking about what specifically you enjoy about a book or a genre helps us make the best recommendations, and it helps us think outside the box to help you find books in similar genres or from similar authors you might enjoy. If you are a patron of the Talking Book program and would like to receive a personalized reader's advisory consultation, please reach out to us. You can contact us by calling 1-800-252-9605 or by sending an email to tbpral@tsl.texas.gov. Our dedicated team is ready to assist you and provide the recommendations tailored to your interests and reading preferences. We look forward to helping you discover new and exciting books. Well, that's just about all the time we have. I hope you take the opportunity to ask us for tips on what to read next. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on TBP Voices.